Namaste, everyone. I'm sure some of you might have seen a previous video that I did, which was a reflection that I shared in response to KI's song Lone. And after some days of thought, prayer, and seeing how that conversation developed and went, I felt it was very important to do a follow-up. Everything that I do and everything I share comes from a place of purpose, from a desire to start meaningful conversations about who we are as a culture and what we choose to celebrate. See, that video was inspired by a song, yes, but it was never about one person or one song. It was about something much larger. The values we normalize, the energy we put into the world, and the way we treat each other, especially our women, in our art and in our everyday lives. The video took off far more than I ever expected, crossing over 80,000 views in less than 3 days. And over the past few days, I've sat by as the comments started pouring in, over 500 comments on this video. And I watched in silence, and I saw so many people share positive reinforcement of what I was saying. Many of you even thanked me for coming forward to say something about this. And while I was grateful for the reach and support, I saw it begin to devolve into negativity, division, and begin to grow into something very different. And I had a deep thought and a long, heartfelt conversation with my wife, Carrie, and I decided to take down the video. And I want to be very clear, I didn't take it down because of outside noise. I took it down because of a moment of internal clarity. And I watched the conversation around it start to shift into something that was never my intention. What began as a sincere discussion about values and respect started to spiral into anger, insults, and division. And I realized that that's not the vibration I want to contribute to. I didn't create that video to tear anyone down, to shame anyone, to try to cancel anyone, or to ignite hate. I created it because I care deeply about the direction of our culture, about the messages that we celebrate, and about the way we treat women in society, in our music, in our conversations, and in our everyday lives. Now, the truth is, most of the comments were encouraging and supportive. So many of you expressed agreement, shared your own stories, and echoed the exact same concerns that led me to speak up in the first place. And I want to thank each of you. I want to thank each of you for sharing that desire and that urgency to want to create something better for our society now and future generations. But at the same time, I saw messages that were deeply disrespectful. And let me tell you, I know who I am. I know that my dharma drives me, and my swadharma is my purpose in this life. I am deeply rooted with what I do and why I do the things I do. And this has allowed me to develop a thick skin. But what is not fair is the disrespectful comments that were being made to women, towards KI, and towards the very message itself, and even in the conversation, even in the comments, going back and forth with so much negativity at each other. And that's when I knew that this conversation, while it had its impact and served an initial purpose, it began to drift far away from the purpose and into ego. So I made a conscious choice. When I took the video down, I knew what that meant. This was my highest performing post ever. It reached tens of thousands of people in a short period of time. As someone who is not only deeply spiritual by tradition and my dharma, I'm also quite analytical because of education and my profession. So I had to look at the statistics, and ironically, it outperformed any of my other videos. And yet, None of that mattered to me. So I took it down after a moment of clarity. But none of that mattered to me. And yet I took it down without hesitation because vibration matters more than views. My mission has never been to chase algorithms, but it's to awaken consciousness, to get conversations started, to open minds so that you all who watch these videos can connect with something that I share. My goal is to inspire and to radiate positive energy whenever I can. So if a video with millions of impressions carries the wrong vibration, one that divides rather than uplifts, then for me, it doesn't serve Dharma. And I'm willing to let that go. Because if something I said touched even one person's heart, if it sparked at least one honest conversation about respect and awareness, then it's already done what it's meant to do. The numbers fade, but that vibration that we create and we put into the world is what remains and what truly matters to me. Afterward, I actually had a very productive and respectful conversation with KI. I was so glad that he reached out to me. And I truly believe that a seed was planted. Whether that seed grows, whether it receives the water and sunlight that it needs, is not in my control. We shared a very engaging conversation in a very respectful manner. And while we didn't agree on everything, we agreed on what matters most. And that is that women deserve and need to be respected and celebrated. I thank all of you who shared the video, who reposted it, who fed the algorithm in a way with your comments and your likes and your positive energy that allowed it to reach him and for him to have the wherewithal to reach out to me to have this conversation. I don't think it would have been achieved if not without your efforts through that video, and I truly appreciate that. And in our conversation, he said something that really stuck with me. He said that positive, uplifting songs don't get the same attention or traction as others. And you know what? He's right. And that's a sad reality of our world right now. But that's exactly the point, isn't it? We've normalized entertainment that glorifies respect, indulgence, and insensitivity. We've mistaken vulgarity for art and desensitization for freedom. When songs about drinking rum and objectifying women fill the air, they might sound harmless, but they're actually shaping the collective mindset of entire generation. And here's the thing. When a culture is already burning with the fire of pain, of anger, of misogyny, of disrespect, pouring alcohol or rum onto that fire doesn't calm it down. It fuels it. It makes the flames rise higher. And in that blaze, the respect and dignity of women, our mothers, our sisters, our daughters, continue to get scorched. And that's why I felt like I had to speak. Because this isn't just about one artist or even one type of music or one country. It's a much bigger problem that exists in Trinidad and Guyana, across the West Indies, in America, and honestly around the world. It's not a Caribbean issue. It's a human issue. Through all of this, I've been reminded why I speak up for women in the first place. Because I have been blessed, truly blessed, to be surrounded my entire life by strong, compassionate, and resilient women. My wife, Karishma, whose kindness and wisdom always ground me. My mother, who taught me quiet resilience. My community, where women have always been the backbone of faith, love, and devotion. Some people oftentimes say that women are the weaker ones. But I've seen the opposite. I've seen women endure heartbreak, loss, injustice, and still rise with grace. And that's strength. And honestly, that is divinity. And it's because of those women that I feel called to speak, not against men, but for humanity. When I looked through the comments on that video, I noticed something beautiful. Most of the people who agreed with me were women. And that tells us something deeply meaningful. It tells us that there are countless women who feel unheard, unseen, and unprotected in the very spaces that should be celebrating them. It tells us that this conversation, though uncomfortable, needed to happen. So, to every woman who resonated with what I said, please know that you are not alone. There are men, good men, who see you, who respect you, and who stand beside you when it matters most. And I am proudly one of them. And to the over 80,000 people who viewed that video, I thank you. Your attention shows that you care. But now I'm asking you for something deeper. I ask you that let us match our actions with our words. If we want change, we have to support the people and the content that represent change. Let's share, stream, download, and celebrate music that uplifts the spirit, that honors women, that brings family together rather than tearing values apart. Let's build a culture we can be proud to show our children, a culture of dignity, respect, and light. Because every click, every share, every view is not just data, it's energy. And when we use that energy to uplift what's good, we start to heal the collective vibration of the world around us. So for this reason, I'll soon be reposting an edited version of my previous video, one that focuses solely on the principle of respect for women and the spiritual need to protect that dignity in all forms. And I know it might not go viral this time. It might not cause as much debate or division because it's not rooted in controversy, but that's okay because it's coming from a place of peace and not provocation. And I truly hope you'll join me on this journey. Not to just critique, but to create. Not just to call out what's wrong, but call forth what's right. Because at the end of the day, that's what dharma is. Walking the path of righteousness, even when it's hard, even when it's lonely, and even when it's misunderstood. So, to everyone watching, reading, or listening, thank you for being a part of this dialogue. Let us raise the vibration together. Let us fill this world with higher consciousness, with compassion, and with courage. Because that is the only way we can move from darkness to light, from asato ma sadgamaya, from untruth to truth, from tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, from darkness to light, and from mrityur ma amritam gamaya, from death to immortality. Namaste. Thank you once again with love and sincerity. I'm Pandit Nial, and I truly thank you for being here. Take care.